Hello everyone and welcome back to another Disventure Camp What If. Now this one has been requested a lot of times from some different notable people, but this has been requested a lot, and so I thought I'd finally do it, and that is what if the Villains Alliance was never created? Now obviously for the first couple of episodes this won't come into play, but about episode 4 we're going to see a lot of changes come in, and so let's just get into it, I guess. Like and subscribe, and let's go. Right. Episode 2, as I'm saying, with the team staying exactly the same, there's nothing I really need to go in here with the fact that obviously Magenta team still lose, and James' elimination has nothing to do with the villains, meaning that James is still eliminated. Now I can do the same with Lake, as again, there's no reason for Lake to be eliminated. Well, no, the villains are no reason. Anyway, now we're at episode 4, so this is where I actually have to go into things. Episode 4, immediately, it's Alec is no longer going to be throwing the challenge. He's got no incentive at all. The only two reasons he did it is number one, to be nice to Ellie, who's in the alliance, and number two, to vote out Miriam. And so now that neither of those things are really a pressing issue, there's no reason for him to throw the challenge, leading to Cyan Team still losing. So in this kind of group we've got Tom and Aiden, and we've got Ellie and Gabby. Now Tess, she's in the middle, and she obviously votes for Ellie in episode 8, no 7, or one of those two. I think it was 8. Yeah, episode 8. But that's because she thinks the game is getting to her head. It's only been one elimination, and that kind of growth for Tess doesn't happen until later on. So at this current moment in time, I think Tess is actually going to still be with Ellie and Gabby, although extremely, skeptical. And so I think Ellie and Gabby are now actually going to vote for Aiden because they wanted to vote for him originally. But now that Lake's not in their way, they are now going to vote for Aiden. Episode 5 is what do the villains really do in this? So obviously there's obviously at the end where Fiore's saying, "Oh yeah, let me pass you to Rhea," but that never actually happens. So realistically, this elimination wasn't tampered much by the villains. I don't think. Yeah, no. I think this wasn't to do with villains at all, this one. So I think I can chalk this up to Magenta team still going to elimination, and even though Alec is trying to help Fiore, I don't think. Yeah, no, Hunter's still gonna get voted out here. Also, quickly want to mention in episode 3, Alec is still going to try save Fiore, even though he's already got the Villains Alliance in his mind. He's doing that just because he likes Fiore and not because of the Villains Alliance. Okay, so episode 6, again, another change here because Yellow Team still lose due to Rhea and Yule, and so they're not going to vote for Miriam or Connor here, though. So Rhea and Yule obviously dislike each other, and from what I've shown, Alec doesn't like Yule. Grant obviously would vote with Yule. Don't think Miriam likes Yule, and Connor doesn't really like Yule. So no one likes Yule. Is pretty much all I can say. No one. Rhea is still kind of got Connor at this point, not massively, but I think mostly at this point, everyone here is gonna vote out Yule. Gret and Yule probably voting for Rhea, but Yule is eliminated. Episode 6. Episode 7. Now, is this one kind of for the villains? Not really, because when obviously Ellie's move from pushing Tom onto Aiden won't even work. The fact that Aiden here, but that move wasn't really for the villains anyways. But that is the thing: is just because the villains are Lance isn't here doesn't mean that all the other events will happen. So obviously, without Ellie pushing Tom onto Aiden, doesn't distract Jake, and does mean that the Magenta team don't lose that challenge. I think because that was like the big ball, and so I think it means it's a tie. They probably do like two people pushing and two people defending. And I'd assume if you got to pick, that the pushers for the magenta team would be Fiore and probably Jake. And then pushers for Cyan, like Gabby and Tess or something. And so if they had to push balls towards each other, I think the outcome would still be that Magenta are going to elimination. And without the backing of the villains, anyway, Fiora is still eliminated. Episode 8. So in this episode, there isn't much with the Villains Alliance. Yule and Rhea still bickering, Alec and Rhea laughing at Yule and that. But in the end, I think because Aiden isn't here, so Jake's still in the dome, and I think he'll actually be with. I'm gonna say Ellie. I think that would be good. And obviously, Rhea and Ellie have no reason to help each other, so Rhea just still makes it out. But I would say that Ellie, to be honest, I think most people on that team would outdo Jake, especially Ellie. I think she's definitely the most likely. So I'm going to say that Ellie actually makes it out before, so Magenta are going to elimination again. Now, this luckily was proven on the fact that if Ashley had to pick, she would 100% pick Jake over Ali. And so I don't really need to look at this for too much as it's proven and Ali is eliminated. Episode 9, we're at Slip and Slide. Magenta is still going to win immunity because they did it without Ali, and I think Ali did score a point, but I would say they're still able to without, and also partly because there are two, and I don't want them losing another member. But no, I do think Magenta are still going to win this challenge anyway. So, with what we've got on we now have no Villains Alliance, so everyone's just voting for whoever. Now, I think here, I think Miriam's going to vote for Rhea. Alec, I think, might also vote for Rhea because she's really annoying and entitled in that. So I think that Alec votes for Rhea. Grat, I think, would also vote for Rhea for kind of getting Yule out. Connor maybe doesn't vote for Rhea, but maybe like Grat or something. So that's 3 on Rhea, 1 on Grat. I think Rhea votes with Connor to see if she can stay alive or something. I don't know. So that's 2 on Gret. Ellie and Gabby both vote Rhea as well. I think Tess would vote Rhea, and I think Tom would vote Rhea. And so Rhea is eliminated. Right. Not too many changes, but there's definitely a few. We've got Connor. He wasn't here. Gret, Alec, Miriam wasn't here. Gabby, Ellie wasn't here. Tess wasn't here. Tom, Ashley, and Jake. And obviously, there's no heroes and villains here, but they are gravitating to each other, none the same. Obviously, I'm not going to make clicks, so the villains are still going to go each other, but there is still the friendship circles that do obviously interact. So I'm going to quickly make them. Yeah, I think Tom, Jake, and Ashley is probably good. Tom's probably not right in this at this point, but I think he's definitely there. Miriam is in this as well. I'll put Miriam here. Tom's on the outside of this. So these are 4. I think because like I think I think Gabrielle and Tess are together here because even though Tess is starting to get think that Ellie's going too far, we're at the merge now because they haven't done an elimination since I said that, and so I think for the time being, Tess's best idea is to stay with Gabby and Ellie. Alec doesn't really have any alliances with anyone except for Connor, so I think he'll be kind of close to Connor, and then Gret has literally got no one. But I'll say she starts to get a bond with Gabby like she does in the original or something. So that's the alliances set up in the challenge. People that weren't here in the original, I don't think stand a chance against Alec, so Alec still wins immunity. Now I can go over this here, and so out of everyone here, I think Alec and Connor, they, I think they're up for targeting. No, they don't like Gret. Uh, yeah, so the villains would most likely target each other, but I'm not going to say that. So I'm going to say Ellie, Tess, and Gabby, they're going to go for Jake because Ellie doesn't like Jake, and that's okay for them. Ashley, Jake, Miriam, and Tom, I think, are also gonna. I think they're gonna go for Ellie, and I think Alec and Connor. I think they might just go like Gret or something. But because of that, Ellie gets. Oh wait, no, I think Alec would actually go Ellie as well. So I think Ellie is eliminated like 6-3. Okay, so that's actually kind of good for. I think this really upsets Gabby, and it does help Gabby and Gert's bond a bit without Ellie. Tess, it doesn't really know what to do, but she sticks with Gabby, and I think she starts to integrate herself with this friend group over here. And so in episode 11, obviously, there's comebacks, and I think Fiore is going to come back. Yeah, I don't see why not. She was episode 7. It's definitely a possibility. And obviously, yeah, I'm gonna say Fiora comes back. So Fiora's obviously here with Alec, which pushes Connor away a bit, but Connor and Alec are still close, just not to the level with Fiora being here. That's all I need to add for this part. Um, episode 12. Alex still wins this challenge, but due to the fact, actually no, due to the fact that Alec and Fiore had immunity, Alec decided to let Connor win, so them three are all safe. So now we've got Gret, Gabby, Tess, Ashley, Jake, Miriam, and Tom. For this, I think Fiore is also going to want to vote for Jake. And even though Connor doesn't mind Jake, I think. Oh, I don't know. I'll say Alec and Fiore vote Jake. And I think obviously there is still going to be inner talking. There's no Villains Alliance, obviously, but I think Alec is going to try talk to people that aren't Ashley, Miriam, and Tom. So that is Gabby and Tess and Gret to see if they will vote for Jake. Now, I don't see any reason why Gabby wouldn't do that. Ellie doesn't like Tess. No. Ellie doesn't like Jake, so Gabby's okay for doing that to avenge Ellie, kind of thing. I think Gret would probably do it due to her bond with Gabby, which is starting to show up more. And so that is 5 votes. I think Tess wouldn't vote for Jake, but she wouldn't vote with these guys. I think she'd vote for like a random. I don't know who she'd vote for. I'm just gonna say that Jake is eliminated then. Now he was like the key figure in there to keep in mind. Episode 13, without Jake, again, I'm going to say there's no immunity wins here. I don't see Fiore, I don't see Tess, and I don't see Ashley or Miriam or Tom winning this. So I'm going to say no immunity. So in this, right, because obviously that worked the last time, I think Alec Alec and Fiore see that they're able to the work Gabby to vote with who they want because of her relation to Ellie. So next, I think they're gonna want to target Ashley or Tom, and I think they're gonna vote. They're gonna target Tom because of his strength. Uh, actually, no. I'm gonna say they vote for Ashley because she's strong and she's very sociable to everyone, even if well, except for Fiore. So I'm gonna say that Fiore, Alec, and Connor, because I think Connor is gonna vote with Alec for the time being because they're close. I think they vote for Ashley. Now, obviously, Connor is a hero, but he's just really close with Alec, so that's why he does what he does. I think Alec tells this about to Gabby, and I think Gabby doesn't like Ashley because of Ellie, so she's fine with this. I think Tess will go along with it this time, and I think Gret will too. So Ashley is voted out. Now we're at the point, though. Obviously, we're at the TikTok challenge. We're at the point where everyone's kind of split up, and Gabby kind of has this 3 here. Alec has this 3 here, where the other 2 are not close at all. So Gabby and Alec are in the best positions, I would say. So with this, episode 14, I'll just keep the teams how they are. With these teams, I think the people that would be safe, I'm gonna say that Gabby and Tess find the watch. Actually, no, Miriam and Tom find the watch. I think Connor and Gret are able to do this. And I think, if I'm honest, I think Gabby and Tess would too. And so what I think would actually happen is that Fiore literally refuses to do this. She does not want to do this, not at all. So she doesn't record anything. So her and Alex's idea was to just find the watch, and that was it. But obviously, Miriam and Tom find that watch very quickly. So this leads to them coming back empty-handed. So obviously, I think Alec probably did one dance before Fiore shows off her rebellion, and so because of that, she did the least dances, meaning she is eliminated. Okay, so episode 15 is Idol. Alec and Connor are now a duo. Gabby still has Tess and Gret on her side, and Miriam and Tom are a duo now because at this point Tom and Jake have reconvened and they're a lot closer now. And Miriam's only dislike with Tom was the fact that he ghosted Jake, but that's fine now. So in this, I think if Gret was the first one to find the idol, and with these people on the right, Gabby, Tess, and Miriam and Tom that weren't here, I think he would still be the one to find it. This time, I think she gets Gabby to get it, but Gabby gives it to Gret, I believe. Um, in the challenge, I'm gonna say the winner is Tom. Definitely, I mean he's just very strong, so he is safe. And who have we got? We've got, I think, Alec and Connor. I think at this point, Alec is telling Connor about the fact of how Gabby is kind of like in a great position here. And so Connor doesn't really have a lot with Gabby, so he doesn't really mind. Alec sees what's going on with Gabby being in the middle of things and knows that Gret and Tess are not close. He then goes to Miriam and Tom, says, "Yeah, I know we have our differences. You're immune, Tom. I think we should vote for Gabby. She's got a lot of protection around her. I think it would be a smart idea." No, obviously, Miriam definitely does not trust Alec at all, and I think Tom has to do some convincing. But I think eventually, I think kind of due to Connor reassuring them that Alec is correct here, because even though Connor isn't really close, he still likes everyone, and I think they like him. So I think they do go along with this plan and they vote for Gabby. But Gret uses her idol on Gabby, so Gabby is safe. And so I think they catch. And so I think due to the reactions, they suss out on who made this plan. And I think they correctly guessed that the person that came up with this is Alec. So I think Alec is voted out due to idol. Obviously, yeah, because before they actually played it, I think they knew that Alec was. Yeah, anyway, episode 16, Puzzle Challenge. I'm still gonna say this goes to Gret. Even though maybe Gabby, Tess, Miriam, and Tom could maybe win this, I don't see it likely, so I'm gonna say Gret still wins. Now Connor drifts over to Tom and Miriam though, so now they are kind of a three. Even though Connor's not really in it, but I think they kind of like it. I think he would be included. And so because of this, we've got I think Miriam, Tom, and Connor decide to vote for it's I'm gonna say they vote for Gabby. Because obviously Gabby is really well insulated. She's in a good position, and that she's fairly good at challenges as herself. So that is a big threat. So I think they just they I don't know. Nah, never mind. Um, for Greg, Gabby, and Tess, I think their idea is that they don't think that Connor is gone to the heroes because there isn't really a sign of that happening in this because he's been with Alec like the whole time. And so I think they go to Connor and tell him they're going to vote for Tom. Connor says that he's okay with this and promises them that's okay. So he kind of like double crosses them in a way. Tells them that they're going to be voting for Tom, and so Tom prepares for the tiebreaker. And I think in a puzzle challenge, although Tom is very stupid, I'm gonna say it still includes the rock climbing, in which I think Tom would excel at, giving him enough room ahead to beat Gabby in the puzzle challenge and win the tiebreaker. All right, episode 17. I'm gonna say this is a great win. Um, I don't think Miriam would be good at riding a horse. Connor wasn't that good. He was good, but he wasn't that good. Tom and Tess, maybe, but I'm just going to say nice and easy to say it's still great. Now, at this point, though, because Gabby's gone, Tess is kind of with these guys now. Obviously, she's been sociable with them the whole time, but has been voting with Gabby. Which again, if you don't think this is realistic, I'm fine for you to leave comments. They don't get to me at all. If you want to tell me what you think I've done wrong, I will take this on board. But let's keep going. Um, so Mira and Tom and Connor, they all want to vote for Tess. I think they're not. Yeah, I think they are going to do this because Gret doesn't really have a reason to save Tess, and so Tess is eliminated. Episode 18, we've got the shot collar puts thing onto people, whatever. And I think Gret wants this too, but this is where the problem arises on where who do they want to vote for. I think Miriam and Tom conspire that they're going to vote for Connor. And I think Connor's fairly aware of this because obviously Miriam and Tom have been close since the very start, and he's joined on only after Alex's departure. So Miriam and Tom both vote for Connor. But I think at this point, Grant decides to give Connor a chance, even though Connor doesn't really want the chance. Grant tells him that she's going to vote for Miriam, and that if he wants to be safe, he should do too. I think he does do this, and in a race between Miriam and Connor, I think Miriam loses. Even though they're probably both one of the weakest people in the whole of the show, so it's a bit of an odd comparison, but there we go. All right, so Motel probably Grant gets Yule for the sake of it. Tom gets Jake, Connor gets Alec, kind of that kind of thing. Um, in the mining challenge, I would say that most likely Gret is very far ahead. I feel like Connor and Tom would be like team players. They'd be making sure everyone they get their stuff together and be working. I think Gret is way ahead, and I think she like storms past. Like obviously, it's kind of photo finishy, but she is way ahead of the other two. The other two, even though the fact they know they're in a pretty much race for last, they are both kind of not really getting at a pace. But once the chaos ensues with Emily, things starts to get more intense, and Tom and Connor start to speed up, and they get out of the cave. Now, between Tom and Jake and Connor and Alec, I think it is most likely that Tom outpaces Connor, making it to the end first. And I don't see any bag rips or anything that would change that. So we have a final two of Tom and Gret. Now, I think most likely Tom would probably win this. He is very strong. Gret is very good at challenges too, but I think this would favor Tom too much for it to go any other way. So there we go. What if the Villains Alliance wasn't created? Now, obviously, at the start of this, it did stay similar, but from Yule onwards, that's when things really started to change because no, Fiore onwards, but then we got pretty much completely different from that point. Not a single, yeah, not a single elimination that was the same from Fiore in episode 7. And I hopefully this has satisfied all you that wanted me to do this because it was a lot. But thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.